Hey everyone, Table Talk Games here, and just wanted to talk to you about a conversation I actually just had over at GamesU. So, as many of you know, GamesU has been a sponsor of the show for quite a while now, and had sponsored us in the past as well. And so that sponsorship officially ends at the end of the month, being January. Now, we might do something like that again in the future. So far, too early to tell. But as far as that ending, we're ending on very good terms. Problem is, the shop itself was not doing as well as they would have liked, and was actually about to be closed down. So, and I mentioned on this briefly in the comments of one of my previous videos. So, the owner at the time had posted on Facebook announcing that the store would be closing at the end of the month. And so obviously with that, so would our sponsorship agreement. And then literally the next day, someone had actually stepped forward and decided to actually buy the store. And so they've actually been working through that through the month. Now the store's name is changing from GamesU to Desert Games. And so I had the pleasure of actually meeting both of the owners there, but sat and spoke with the one of them. His name is Jason. And so we talked about, what all does, buying a store look like. And so found out he actually also does work at a bank and does the underwriting for small business loans as well. And so he actually has experience in that area and spoke on that too. So for all of those out there that want to know what it takes to buy or start a game store, it's something I've always entertained the idea on and wanted to do, but the time wasn't right, location wasn't right, and then also didn't have my finances in order to make something like that happen. And on top of that, I also didn't want to directly compete with my friends over at GamesU, and didn't want to drive an hour away just to go to my shop if I were to ever do that. So it just never felt right. But when they made that announcement, I did discuss the idea of maybe us buying the store. But Jason and his partner definitely beat us to it. Turns out they actually have been in talks with the previous owner for a year on possibly buying the store earlier, and this just basically accelerated that timeline. And so with that, he was explaining that from a small business perspective, it is better to buy a failing store than it is to start your own. And starting his own store is actually something he's always wanted to do. And so he does have experience in the industry as well. And so then him and his partner came in to buy it just like they would suggest. Now, in addition to the cost of the actual store, which he didn't go into, just for getting started, the expectation is that you're not going to make any money as the owner for at least 18 months to 2 years. And on top of that, you have to be able to provide the money up front to basically support at least the first 2 months of the business for utilities, land, and all that stuff, the rent. And then also supply the money for all the fixtures, and of course, that's where your small business loans would come in to help with that. But just for doing new fixtures, new tables, and everything, because when the original owner had announced the sale or that the store was closing, they had sold all of their shelves and everything to one of the other local stores in the valley. And so with that, all of those were then obviously bought by somebody else, so none of that would come over with the store sale. So just to replace all of those items would cost about $60,000 to get everything taken care of. And then that's assuming that everything actually arrives when it's supposed to in the deliveries. Like right now, they did get all new tables, all new shelving, and things like that, and are ready for people to play games at. But with those deliveries, for some reason all of the chairs didn't arrive. and so they're having to track that down. So if you do go to the shop, expect the chairs to be likely taken up quickly because there are so few of them. But the new tables are absolutely amazing looking. They actually now have the ability to rise and lower with a push of a button, basically meaning if you're playing a board game and you want the table lower so that way you can sit comfortably at a chair or in a chair, you're able to. If you're playing a tabletop war game of some sort, you typically are going to be standing for that, so you can actually have it higher, so that way you're not having to bend over while playing, and so that way it's more comfortable for you. So the dynamic aspect of making it more comfortable for the players is fantastic. I love that idea. It's something that the store didn't have before. Now, they are expecting to do a grand reopening here in the next couple weeks. They're expecting mid to late February for that. And once that does happen, we will definitely let you guys know and share that both on YouTube and TikTok. And from there, it's going to be a conversation between me and the owner as far as if we can work something out for further future sponsorship possibly, or some sort of partnership. But on top of that, one thing the store never had was an online store, and that's actually going to be something that they're going to be building here in the near future, so that way they're going to be able to make the most of their business and their community, so that way it's not just the local community only, they can become a global community as well. So a lot of great things down the pipeline. Not all of it I can actually go into in depth, but these guys have some great ideas, and during that conversation I had with them, very promising, and definitely seems that they're putting the community first. And Jason actually explained his main reason for doing it was, at least as far as moving forward now with it, is because this is their favorite place to play in the Valley, and they didn't want to lose that. So instead of basically moving on and doing their own business, they wanted to keep the business intact as much as they could to keep it the way it was. And so fans of Games U, Desert Games is promising to maintain the same community style that they did before, the same attention to customers, the same attitude towards the toxic community that sometimes develops, and removing that from their store as they did before. So like I said, a lot of great things down the pipeline coming, and it's very exciting. I can't wait to see what these guys do, and I hope that they have all the success that they deserve in this endeavor. And can't wait to check out the upcoming events. And they've already started doing some big tournaments already at the store just this past week for Warhammer 40K, among other things, and already have a full schedule of different game nights. So depending on the game type you play, they've probably got something already scheduled and set up for you already. So definitely worth checking out. And thanks you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.